morning, everybody. It's Cindy here with Stampin' Up Creations. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, hello, welcome back. I'm excited to have you guys here. As I shoot this video, it is 8:25 a.m. on Monday, and already it has been a Monday. So I'm hoping my day gets better, but it has not started off to be the best. So fingers crossed that everything goes well and nothing major happens. So all right, so today's card is actually a very, very simple layout, but I think it's a really fun one. So I think we can really modify it and adjust it as we see fit. So that's why I thought it would be a really great one to try, especially coming into the holiday season. So you can actually do this style card for any occasion. I am doing all holiday cards because my holiday card stock is diminished. I've sold an enormous amount of cards this year at vendor events. So I'm trying to build up my stock again. So just so you know, I will be doing all holiday cards, but you could do this for any occasion. All right, let's get started and see how we make out. All right, so what did I tell you needed? My room is like, looks like a bomb has gone off. Okay, so I told you needed a piece of cardstock. So I'm using white for all of my cards because you should be using white. White or very vanilla. It should be one of the two unless you're going to heat emboss or use your white craft ink. I told you that you needed a piece of solid cardstock that was 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And it needs to coordinate with your DSP, which is your designer series paper. That is 3 inches by 4 inches. So yes, these do layer on top of each other, but we're not going to do something as simple as this. That would be way too simple, right? And today's card, one of the cards, I'm actually going to do some heat embossing as well. So let's get started. So you're going to bring in your paper trimmer. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your solid cardstock and we're going to cut from a diagonal, from this corner to this corner on a diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to put this into my paper trimmer. And I'm just going to make sure that it's bang on because this has to be precise or it's going to look weird. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to use my cutting blade, which is my darker blade, and I'm going to cut across. So I have 2 triangles. Then I'm going to bring in my designer series paper and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the same corners, okay? So you have to cut the same corners. So if you're going to the right, you have to cut from the right. And you actually have to do this from the right. You can't do this from the left because it won't work otherwise. So again, from that corner to this corner, making sure it's bang on, and I'm cutting. Okay, that's all we need the paper trimmer for right now. So I'm going to put this over here to the side until I'm ready for it, so it's out of my way. And then what I'm going to do is I am actually going to, I was going to bring in my silicone mat, but I don't even know where it is right now. My room is such a disaster, I wouldn't be able to find it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am actually going to glue my designer series paper onto, if I can get my glue to work, would be fantastic, onto I'm using Sweet Sorbet for this color because this is the color that's in the Gnomes paper. So this is the Gnomes paper that I'm using. If you have not seen the Gnomes paper, oh my gosh, it's so incredibly stunning. So here you go. Okay. And then I'm going to do it on this side as well, if my glue will allow me. I need to order more Stampin' Seal. Okay. So if your paper's directional, when you go to cut it, you're going to want to be careful on how you cut it because I've cut mine the wrong way and I will put that, I hope I put that in the instructions. So I'm going to move this up just a hair. So the nice thing about the green glue is that you do have a few minutes to adjust your location. Okay, so now once we have our 2 triangles, right? So this is what we have here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in our solid cardstock and we're actually going to put this in here like this. Okay. Now, so cute, right? Okay. So depending on what sentiment you're using, you can adjust the depth of this. So you can have this come like this. You could have it come out a little bit. You could have it come wide, depending on what you're using, okay? Now, if you're going wide, though, keep in mind that these corners are going to look a little bit funny. And let me show you the card that I did the trial on. So this is the one that I did the trial on, and I wanted to use this big Merry Christmas, which worked out great, but I think it looks a little bit odd here with some white space. So just keep that in mind as you're picking your sentiment. So you just want to kind of adjust where you want that to go. And this is a great card because you're not using any more paper than you normally would have, right? So for this one, I'm just trying to see where my stamp sets are. I might use, because this one, it goes with the gnomes, I might use Merry Christmas and Happy New Year on this one. So, what I'm going to do, I think it's this one. Yeah, good guess. I have so much junk on the table. Oh my. A couple more vendor events and then I can get back into a little less chaos. Okay, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. So, I'm going to take my Sweet Sorbet ink pad. I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to kind of have an idea of where I want this to go-ish. Now, on my original card, I stamped it first. I mean, I stamped it after, is what I meant to say. Like I actually glued these down and then I stamped, but I think for this one, I'm going to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to put this in here. Like that. And then I can adjust how I see fit on this one. Like that. Okay. Probably come down a little bit. So let me go ahead and glue this down. So you really want to be cautious as to which sentiment you're using on this though, because it will change the look of your card as well. Cheapers. And so my Monday continues. Okay. Let's just carry on here. So I'm going to go about there for this one. I'll have to get my, I'm not even sure where my baby wipes have got. No, there's some back there. I've got glue all over my fingers and now I have it all over my card. This is why I should not be allowed to use liquid glue. For this exact reason. Okay. So there you go. Look how cute that is. Now, I'm going to see if I can grab some baby wipes here for myself too. Oh, here they are. Okay. Clean off my desk before I get a complete and utter disaster. There we go. Okay. All right. So there is your first card. Super simple, but so incredibly cute, right? Okay. So that was fun. Let's do another one. I have my Stampin' Scrub here and I'm just using the baby wipe now to clean that. That was silly. Okay. Force of habit, I guess. So this is my Sweet Sorbet. So I'm going to put that one back. I'm going to put my stamp set back because it's Monday and I know I'm going to lose that. And I'm going to put this one over here because I'm done with it. All right, so let's go on to our second card. So our second card is, I'm using a white card base as well. And I thought it would be really fun to use this poinsettia paper. So if you haven't seen the poinsettia paper pack, it is, oh my gosh, so beautiful. There's 2 different poinsettia papers in it. It's just so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to use, this is Old Olive that I'm using for this one because I thought I could bring out the green in the center of the poinsettia, which would be really fun. So on an angle, and again, so you have to go right angle, right side of your paper to the right side of the paper. Okay, or this will not work because we're making triangles. Okay, and I'm going to put this back over here. And my paper pumpkin did show up on Friday, late Friday. So I'm hoping to get a video done of that as well. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. So then when those videos go up, you are the first to know. stars. That's pretty. Oh my. Okay. This is probably one of my favorite papers, actually. It's just so rich looking. So this one is going to go like this. Okay. So then I've got my card base, and I'm just using the thick Whisper White, or basic white, I guess is what we call it now. And I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this one here. And what do I want to use for sentiment here? I'm going to use, what about Happy Holidays on this one? I haven't used the Happy Holidays one, I don't think, anywhere. And I'm going to actually do this one in Old Olive, just so that I think the red will be too much red. So I'm just going to break it up a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of Old Olive. And the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually heat emboss. Okay. Oh, my paper's not glued. So, for my own sanity, I'm going to angle that. And I'm going to stamp Happy Holidays. There we go. Very, very dainty. Very dainty. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I can glue that down. So once you know what sentiment you're using, you could actually glue these triangles down and then do your stamping. It's totally up to you. Preference, whatever works best. But it's really not a hard card. You can whip out a lot of these pretty quick. And the nice thing is, because it's 4x3, you could actually get, out of one sheet of Designer Series paper, you can get a couple out of the one side, right? Because it's 4 and the paper's 12. I think I stamped my sentiment crooked, but anyway. Okay, so not a hard card. I could actually add something there if I wanted. Okay, so depending on how which sentiment you're using, you're going to put it, the depth will be different on this one, okay? So you can see there, similar but different, okay? And then the last one here that I'm going to do is we're actually going to do some heat embossing, because I wanted to do this in gold, because I really thought the gold would just pop. And you'll know what I'm talking, you'll understand what I'm talking about once I show you which ones I'm using. Okay, so this one I actually have decided to use Very Vanilla, because I find Very Vanilla and black and gold go very nicely together. So this is our thick Very Vanilla. So when you're doing card bases, the thick is really great for that. So then it holds your card a little bit better. So I am using the Lights Aglow Designer Series paper, which I know is not available anymore, but if you were fortunate enough to get some, it's there. And then this is actually the glitter paper that is in that suite. Look how pretty that is, right? So I'm going to actually use that as the background. So here we go. Angle to angle on the right side. Angle to angle on the right side. Is that the black? It's hard to tell. All right, so there we go. And I'm done with my paper trimmer. So you can see how quickly you can get these cards out once you have all your paper cut. Okay, come in. So, oh, this is going to be so beautiful. Now with the glitter paper, it will take a second for this to adhere a little bit more than if we were just doing cardstock. So we just have to be a little bit more patient with that. Come on, glue. So if you're using glitter paper, you probably want to use a little bit more adhesive than you would normally use, just because to make sure that it is adhering well. Okay. Oh, shoot, what's going on here? Barely see the border on this. Oh, barely see the border. What's going on? There we go. Okay. All right. All right, so for this one, I am actually going to use Season's Greetings because it's a little bit bigger of a stamp, right? So I'm going to actually just lay that there for right now. And then I'm going to put my paper in. Oops, yeah, and because the stamp's sticky, my fingers are sticky. Then I can kind of determine where I want that one to go. I'm thinking about there as I move everything. Okay. I think that's going to be nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue. Maybe if my glue will let me. All of my green glues are like empty. And you can't buy the green glue right now because it's on back order. Which is not good, but not much we can do about it. Okay. Put that one there. Oh, come on. Glue. I have no patience for glue today. Okay, so if you've never seen heat embossing done before, you're going to be in for a real treat. I feel like this needs to go up a little bit more. Just trying to make my margins or my borders a little bit more even. All right, so heat embossing. Let's do this. So close up my glue because I'm done with that, thankfully. Okay, so this is an embossing buddy. That is something that we used to sell years ago. We no longer sell, but it has this magic powder in it. But if you don't have this, if you've been around for a while and you have this, please use it. If you don't, that's okay, because you can actually use a dryer sheet as well. A used dryer sheet, okay? So I'm just putting that on, and what that does is it removes the static. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to bring my Versamark, which is just a clear watermarking ink pad, so you're not going to see anything kind of come up with that. So I want to make sure my card's opening the right way. I'm going to stamp this. Okay, so you probably can't see that on camera, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bring this in, and I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder. So we now sell the embossing powder in 3 packages of 3. There's a gold, a black, and a copper. I'm going to do this one in gold just because I think it would look really awesome. And I'm just going to sprinkle this right on. And I'm not worrying about how much I'm using or not using. And I'm going to tap that off. I'm going to actually move that. I'm just going to flick it to make sure I haven't missed any little speckles. I'm going to put this way over out of the way for right now because I know me and I might spill that. I'm going to close that up for the time being. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can bring in my camera a little bit more here so you guys can see this. So this right now is a powder. It's very blurry. That's not going to help anything. There you go. That's better. So this is a powder. And then what I'm going to do is as I heat this, it's actually going to go to a liquid form. Really wish that wasn't so blurry. I'm starting to think this is my camera that is causing all these griefs. Okay, so it's going to get noisy, so I'm going to try not to talk right now, okay? Okay. I'm going to see if I can bring this up here. There we go. Starting to change. And there we go. It's all done. So I'm just going to give it one more. And that's done. So you see how quick that was? And how beautiful this card turned out. You see that? So it gives it kind of a raised look. And you can touch it right away. You don't want to put your heat gun too close. Because what it does is it curls your paper, which will eventually straighten out. But yeah, so there you go. So there are your 3 cards. You see how quick we did those. In less than, where's my timer on here? Less than 20 minutes, we just made 3 cards. Let me zoom out so you can see again what we did. Here we go. So we did the gnomes, we did the happy holidays, and we did the season's greetings. And I'm not sure where my other card from this morning went. The candy cane one was here, and now it's gone. I was going to show you that one on camera. Oh, here it is, possibly. Here it is. Yeah, so this is the original card that I made. So you can see how different, depending on the paper and depending on how thick you make this, how different your cards will turn out. So I am challenging you to give this a try. I will probably put some rhinestones or something here to bling this one up. But I am challenging you to try this and see what you think. Get your pictures posted. I would be like so incredibly excited to see your finished product coming into the holidays and see what you come up with. So, and again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do that. Please be sure to share this with your friends and family and any of your crafting friends or somebody you think might enjoy these videos. All right. Thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Monday, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?